Now on Nightside, a North Central High School instructor has been charged with sexual misconduct involving students.
Hazy and even hotter weather on the way. I'll let you know when to expect the warmest conditions of the season so far in your First Alert forecast.
An Alaska Airlines flight out of Atlanta makes an emergency stop in Spokane when a passenger makes a bomb threat. We talked to a man on the plane about what happened. You're watching 4 News Now Nightside.
Breaking news out of the Spokane International Airport.
We were all just like in shock. Like, really, this is happening?
All flights going in and out of Spokane International Airport stopped for almost 2 hours as law enforcement investigated a possible bomb threat. Police now have one person in custody. Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Aaron Luna. The plane was headed to Seattle from Atlanta. New on Nightside, our Rania Kaur spoke to passengers at the airport about their ordeal.
Many people flying to their destination are now here in the inland Northwest, including one family I spoke to who says they're staying an extra day they didn't plan for. A bomb threat on an Alaska Airlines flight grounded all flights for nearly 2 hours at Spokane International Airport.
And they said, if you're going to Burbank, get off because you're not making it. So by that time we checked in and there weren't any other flights, so we're stuck here for the night.
What was supposed to be an end to a 4th of July weekend trip turned into a last-minute change of plans for Brittany Nicholson and her family.
I'm, pregnant, and I got a 5-year-old, and so trying to pivot, trying to make sure that we have a place to stay, overwhelming and frustrating.
Kellen Call was on that Alaska flight coming from Atlanta on its way to Seattle.
I just got back from a long trip, and I'm like, I have nothing right now. I got my wallet and my phone. And we're just kind of in limbo here.
Told originally by his pilot that it was a minor malfunction.
We landed, and the pilot said, hey, the plane is fine. They checked it out. We're good. And we were like, okay, well, why is the dude getting arrested? And then it was like, okay, why are we deboarding?
Airport officials say one passenger on the flight was arrested, while passengers on that flight waited for hours at the fire station.
I think we're all just very tired and confused and ready to be on our way.
Nicholson also ready to go home.
It's definitely wild trying to figure out what to do, and never had this happen to me before. So, but yeah, we'll see how it goes, and hopefully tomorrow's smooth sailing.
For 4 News Now, I'm Rania Kaur.
A North Central High School basketball coach and instructor is facing sexual misconduct charges tonight.
Spokane Schools confirms that Andre Irvin is on leave. According to court documents, 2 16-year-old girls told police Irvin made sexually explicit comments to them, and there was, quote, unwanted touching that happened to them separately. One student telling police Irvin touched her bare breast and her thigh and leg. In court documents, one student was also talking about nude pictures she had taken. Irvin allegedly approached her, eventually wanting to see them on her phone, and the student says she unlocked the phone for Irvin, who allegedly took the phone to the bathroom, later commenting that, quote, he really liked those pictures. Tonight, Irvin is on leave from the district pending the outcome of this investigation that started in the spring of this year, and in court today, Irvin pleaded not guilty to all charges.
It is going to be a warm and hazy for the next few days.
Yes, it's going to get a lot hotter. Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker with your First Alert forecast. It seems a lot hotter when you see that 9.
Yes, the warmest weather of the season. We have not spent a lot of time in the 90s. It is going to continue with that wildfire haze around the region. A warming trend in our forecast will be in the 90s starting tomorrow and get into the mid-90s by the weekend. We're also going to be clearer this weekend, pushing some of that Canadian wildfire smoke out of the way to the east. Here's a look at our temperatures right now. 74 in Spokane, at 65 in Coeur d'Alene, and 76 in Spirit Lake presently. Our highs today, we're running above average by 5 to 10 degrees. We're in the 80s and 90s. We are going to be even warmer tomorrow. Here's a look at some of the forecast highs around the Spokane area. 90 at the airport in Spokane, 92 in Spokane Valley and downtown Spokane, and 93 in 9 Mile and Meade. Hazy sunshine throughout the day after a morning low down in the upper 50s and lower 60s. I'll let you know how much hotter it is going to get this weekend and show you where we could still see some thunderstorms tomorrow. That's coming up in your 7-day forecast. Aaron?
Chris, thank you. Not guilty. That's the plea from the man accused of firing into a crowd at the Gorge Amphitheater campground last month. Jocelyn Ruiz and her fiancé, Brandy Escamilla, were shot and killed. 3 others were injured. According to court documents, 26-year-old James Kelly went to the Beyond Wonderland Festival where Kelly ate psychedelic mushrooms. He says he was hallucinating and thought the world was ending. He then grabbed a gun from his truck and started shooting.
Time for a quick look at sports. I'm Julian Minnesone. In less than a week, baseball's biggest stars will be taking the field at T-Mobile Park for the MLB All-Star Game. The Seattle Mariners are the host team this year, so you know they had to bring in some stars of their own to help with the All-Star Week festivities. Mariners legends Ken Griffey Jr., Edgar Martinez, Felix Hernandez, and current All-Star Julio Rodriguez were named as ambassadors for the MLB All-Star Game. Now, in the past, the ambassadors have been in charge of engaging with local kids and families and baseball fans to get as many people as possible to go to the All-Star Game and the activities leading up to the game. This is the first time in 22 years the All-Star Game will be in Seattle.
I've been rewarded with that opportunity to be able to step on that field in front of the fans in Seattle, in front of my family that's going to be there. It's definitely going to be a lot of fun.
Now, including Rodriguez, the Mariners have 3 All-Stars playing in the game this year. Rodriguez, of course, and then pitchers Luis Castillo and George Kirby will be playing as well. Rodriguez is a player, ambassador, and participating in the Home Run Derby, so he's going to have a pretty busy week. Mariners manager Scott Service is on the American League coaching staff as well. And the Mariners were looking to sweep the San Francisco Giants today. We have highlights from that game coming up in just a few minutes in our full sportscast. Live in the studio, Julian Minnesone for News Now Sports.
Thank you, Julian. A school bus rolled over on I-5 in western Washington near Burlington. Minor injuries were reported. Washington State Patrol is still investigating the crash. Students were reunited with their parents at Burlington High School.
New ramp meters are coming to I-90 at the Highway 2 on-ramp. They'll run from 2:30 in the afternoon to 6 p.m. on weekdays. Another construction project you probably want to know about starts next week on Highway 95. On the 12th, crews will begin sealing 37 miles of road beginning in Worley, Idaho. During that time, expect lane closures. Construction's expected to take about a month.
Well, how to stay cool while keeping costs down as the summer heats up.
And a woman who went from $70,000 of debt to a $10 million company shares her financial tips.
Plus, an actress jailed for bringing women into a cult where they were sexually abused has been released early. That's next on Nightside.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Parker Toyota.
At Lazy Boy, we're clearing out everything in stock. Right now, save up to 50% on closeouts, overstocks, floor samples, and one-of-a-kinds. All beautifully crafted, all on sale. It's the factory authorized clearance. Save up to 50% with deals direct from our Lazy Boy factory to you. Get our best offers on a huge selection. Don't wait, because when they're gone, they're gone. Lazy Boy, live life comfortably.
Hey, Donnie, can you give me one reason to call the advocates?
Sorry, Ken, I can't.
I can. I mean, who fights like we do? You can't give me one reason?
Nope.
How about that we take on big insurance bullies? We're not afraid of any case. We're passionate and smart. Really? You can't come up with one reason?
I can't come up with one, Ken. Because there are 500 million.
All the money we've recovered for our clients. Injured? You deserve justice. You deserve an advocate.
Beat the heat. Always water before 10 a.m. or after 6 p.m.
Now, with so much on the line, more Americans are turning to David Muir and ABC's World News Tonight than any other newscast across all of television.
When you're looking to upgrade the look and energy efficiency of your home, no one does a better job at a better price than McVeigh Brothers Roofing, Siding, and Windows. For over 65 years, McVeigh Brothers has been on the cutting edge of the newest technologically advanced products sold. We're now offering triple pane windows, custom colored windows of your choice, and amazing mini blinds between the glass that will last a lifetime. At McVeigh Brothers, we're working for you.
Pop the champagne, humanity. We've done it.
Celebrate your night with big winners, shocking thrills, and living legends.
No, I've always thought of you as Dave Jr.
Oh, every hair on my body is standing up right now.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, weeknights on ABC.
4 News Now is brought to you by Circling Raven Golf Club.
Thanks for staying up with Nightside. Former Smallville actress Allison Mack was released from federal prison this week. She had been sentenced to 3 years behind bars in 2021 for her role in the cult-like group NXIVM. The cult leader, Keith Raniere, was sentenced to 120 years in prison last year for racketeering charges. NXIVM claimed they provided self-help instructions, but prosecutors say the members of a female-only subsect were sexually exploited. No word on why Mack was released early. Well, the Earth is hotter than it has ever been. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration on Monday, the planet's average temperature was the warmest on record. The average global air temperature 2 meters above the surface was 62.62 degrees. That beats the previous record of 62.46, reached both last July and August of 2016. Researchers think the heat is due to a combination of climate change and El Nino. NOAA, as it's called, has been tracking global temperatures since around 1880.
Well, here's a look at the fire and smoke around the region, and we are continuing to bring wildfire smoke from the Canadian fires into the inland northwest on a northerly flow. This is current as of 11:12. Despite that, our air quality remains in the good range because most of that smoke is in the mid and upper levels of our atmosphere. It makes for a beautiful sunset, and there is a haze on the horizon. But so far, air quality has been in pretty good shape. That may dip into the moderate range by tomorrow morning as some of that smoke settles. Mostly clear tonight, 59 for an overnight low, 90 tomorrow with hot and hazy conditions. We haven't had a lot of 90-degree weather, and it is going to get even hotter in the forecast. Forecast radar for tomorrow, we are mostly clear. Once we get into the afternoon, we start to see a few showers and thunderstorms developing over the higher terrain. They will not last long, but they do have the potential to put down some heavy rain. Our lows tonight in the 50s and 60s over much of the region. High temperatures tomorrow, a lot of 90s, even some triple digits, 80s through most of North Idaho. Your planning forecast, we continue to warm through Sunday, 95 degrees, actually 93 will be our hottest day of the season so far until we get to Sunday and Monday. So far we've hit 91 officially in Spokane. We are going to stay warm and dry right on through the middle of next week. I'll be back in just a few minutes with some Wildlife Wednesday photos.
While summer's heating up, consumers are looking for ways to stay cool while keeping costs down. One big way to save is to bump up your thermostat. The U.S. Energy Department estimates you can save as much as 10% a year by turning the thermostat back 7 to 10 degrees from its normal setting for 8 hours a day. Another way to cut costs is try to reduce your home's radiant heat gain. That's done by closing the blinds or curtains on windows facing the sun. Make sure to stay on top of replacing dirty air filters and air conditioning systems. Replacing a dirty filter can reduce energy consumption by 5 to 15%. Lastly, double check your thermostat settings. You want to have it set to auto rather than on or circulate settings. A mother of 6 who was nearly $70,000 in debt turned it around with her side hustle, baking.
She now runs a $10 million company, and she's sharing advice for all of us.
I was drowning in debt and brokenness. I was losing everything that I had, and there's no electricity in the house.
After leaving her job to care for her injured husband at the time, bills were piling up and options seemed scarce for Mignon Francois. She decided she would use what she had around her kitchen. So she had flour and sugar. She started to sell cupcakes locally. In that 17 years, Mignon's business went from keeping her family afloat to a $10 million cupcake empire with 4 locations and 2 on the way. Mignon has tips for starting your own side hustle and paying off debt. The first is recognize the problem.
Every business solves a problem. If you want to have a business that is successful, your business has to solve a problem. For me, my problem was I wanted to eat. I wanted to get out of debt. And so I looked for ways that I could answer that question within my house.
The next is to take stock of your talents. And tip number 3 is keep a tight budget, start small, and build from there.
A new report finds consumer debt delinquencies are on the rise, raising questions about whether we're headed for a credit crunch. In the last year, missed credit payments rose across all days past due categories, including credit cards, loans, and mortgages, jumping from 0.16% of loans in May of 2022 to 0.25% in May of 2023. That's according to the latest monthly credit gauge analysis from Vantage Score.
Now, as we move forward, I think it's highly likely that down market consumers will continue to face elevated rates of credit on their revolving debt and credit cards.
As interest rates rise, it becomes more challenging for people to keep up with payments. All that is putting additional strain on households already struggling to make ends meet, forcing some families to cut back on daily essentials in order to prioritize payments. Experts say if this trend continues, leaders may become more cautious in extending credit, making it harder for you to access new loans or credit cards. You might have done it before, called in sick, not because you weren't feeling good, but because there was something else you really wanted to do instead of work.
How about wearing a disguise? Like a blanket over your head.
Wow, that's a classic.
Yeah, so your boss won't catch you out and about. I guess this person's now a legend for doing that. I think this person may be a Swiftie. We'll find out more next on Nightside.
Later tonight on Nightline, Paris Hilton, in her own words, in a raw and emotional interview with our Juju Chang, how she created a persona to hide her trauma and pain. Plus, rare behind-the-scenes access with global superstars Imagine Dragons.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Fully loaded, fully electric. The Audi Q4 e-tron. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
What the doctor said, right, Dad? These pain meds, they're no joke. And this, it's an opioid. They can be very addictive.
But I need my strong pain medicine.
I know, Dad, I understand. Just make sure you only take what the pharmacist said. And keep it in this locking bag from the pharmacy so it's away from the kids.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'll put this in the locking bag.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
Protect the people you love from opioid misuse. Lock up your medication.
Ismail?
Yes.
David.
Over
ground zero. You can see just home after home.
Thank you very much.
The Jennifer Hudson Show is here.
And you're going to bless people every single day.
We're giving back, lifting each other up.
Something hits you in your heart.
We're doing it all.
Weekdays at 2, only on 4 News Now.
Yeah, buddy.
Own the elements. Quattro in the Audi Q5.
Let's go, buddy.
4 News Now is brought to you by Fairway Floor.
Oh, hooray, it's Wildlife Wednesday. Boy, hummingbirds galore this week, and I'll have those posted to my Facebook page in just a minute. But this one comes with a funny story from Dora Z. Davis. She had her bird bath out, and she says the hummingbirds were looking so longingly at it, but there was a lot of other big bird activity there. So she turned on her sprinklers, and this hummingbird just jumped right in there and is playing in the sprinkler, cooling off on a 90-degree day. Thank you, Dora. It's Shannon Verity's birthday, who is a regular Wildlife Wednesday contributor from Tico, and on her birthday, she spotted a cow elk. She suspects that there is a calf nearby in the bushes back there. Beautiful shot, Shannon. John Chaplin shared this photo of 5-day-old hungry little birdies at near his place. They look like they are ready to be fed. I am sure mom or dad flycatcher is finding something good for them to eat. Now, this is a Wildlife Wednesday. First, I have never had an underwater fish picture before, to my knowledge. I don't remember one in the many, many years I've been doing this. But Jeremiah Philippe shared this cutthroat trout photo from the North Fork of the Coeur d'Alene River, where he was fly fishing. And what a beautiful shot. I absolutely love it. An important fish. Nora Jen, I may have made this great horned owlet a little angry. It looks like he's screeching at her. She says that once she got the hint, she hopped in the car and skedaddled, but a great shot from Nora. And finally, cuddle up with this adorable porcupine through the lens of Mary Wilbur. They could not be cuter. Kirsten?
They do affect pets, though, right, Chris?
Oh, quite negatively, yes. I have had a dog with a snoot full of quills.
One of my neighbors just reminded me of that, and I thought of your doggo.
That's a trip to the vet. That is a painful and expensive trip to the vet.
They look so cute in the photos, though. All right, well, nearly half of the tap water in the U.S. is contaminated with chemicals known as forever chemicals.
That's according to a new study from the U.S. Geological Survey. Scientists collected water samples directly from taps at 716 private wells and public sources. Based on their findings, they estimate at least one forever chemical would be detected in 45% of U.S. drinking water samples. The family of synthetic chemicals linger in the environment and the human body. Exposures linked to cancer, obesity, thyroid disease, high cholesterol, decreased fertility, liver damage, and hormone suppression.
The arrival of warmer weather means more ticks, but there are precautions that you can take to protect yourself. First, check out your yard. Researchers find that ticks and Lyme disease are most common in meadows, grass, and the edges of forests. Also, cover up with long sleeves, long pants, and tick repellent. Researchers that examined these removed ticks say that they normally find Lyme disease in around 40% of the ticks they inspect. So be sure to reach out to your healthcare provider if you notice any symptoms like a rash or flu-like symptoms after you get a bite, because it's important to get treated as soon as possible to prevent Lyme disease. Well, it turns out being overweight but otherwise healthy doesn't lead to an early death.
That's according to a new study published Wednesday in the journal PLOS ONE. Researchers looked at data gathered from 1999 to 2018 on more than 554,000 Americans older than 20. They also looked at the 2019 U.S. National Death Index. They found body mass index, or BMI, which measures a person's body fat based on height and weight, is a poor indicator of mortality risk. However, being overweight may add to the risk of developing a chronic disease, which can lead to serious health problems and death. The CDC says an adult is considered overweight if their BMI falls between 25 and 29.9.
A new report from the AARP is offering 6 specific ways to stay sharp as you age. Quality sleep, stress management, and an active lifestyle are just some of the ways to reduce a cognitive decline.
Good for your body is good for your brain. People think about exercise for their muscles, but your brain is just like that. You have to keep it engaged and moving.
So people who eat healthy, maintain social relationships, and regularly engage their brain will be more likely to pick up new skills later in life. According to the National Institute of Health, there is increasing evidence that the brain can adapt and change, allowing people to take on new challenges and tasks as they age.
Seattle Mariners win a close one against the San Francisco Giants, the crucial play that decided the game, coming up next in sports.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
4 News Now is brought to you by All Wills Swap Meet, July 7th through the 9th.
Welcome to Celebrity Family Feud, everybody. I'm your man, Steve Harvey. Funeral home lost the body, but What they gonna put in the casket?
A horse.
Let's go.
Celebrity Family Feud premieres Sunday on ABC and stream on Hulu.
From the very beginning, we've been taught safety is very important. It's an act of love. When we're on the road, every action we take gets everyone to a safer place. Each of us can make a difference. Slow down. Ride sober. Get endorsed. Get training. Alone, we are strong. Together, we are stronger. And together, we get there.
Does your current roof have moss growing on it? Is it worn out or tattered? Have you recently seen the heat and electric bills going up? Then it may be time for you to get a new roof from McVeigh Brothers. McVeigh Brothers is the only 5-star certified select shingle master contractor in the Inland Northwest. We also have great financing options to help you out, like no money down and up to 12 years low interest financing. So you can get everything you want now and pay for it later. At McVeigh Brothers, we're always working for you.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on the next task. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXOY.com to nominate it. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
Wildfires can strike at any time. 4 News Now Fire Watch coverage keeps you safe on TV and on the go to protect your family.
Tracking the largest local wildfire.
Stay safe all fire season long on 4 News Now.
We have breaking news on wildfire evacuations. Level 3 evacuations, which mean leave now, are in place for a wildfire burning near Soap Lake. The Grant County Sheriff's Office says the 3,000 to 4,000 blocks of Road 20 Northeast needs to evacuate now. The size of the wildfire is not known.
As soon as you're ready, you can take the field then.
Lee Ham is the oldest baseball umpire in North Dakota. He is 89 years old, and he's been at it for decades. Lee played ball in his hometown there, and he served in the Army, worked as a school superintendent, and now he chases 15 grandkids and 20 great-grandkids around. But he's still on the road several times a month in the summer, umpiring national tournaments.
I just love to do it. I just love doing it. Every year I think it's going to be my last year, and when spring rolls around and the weather starts getting nice, I think maybe I can try it one more year,
Lee is not only the oldest softball umpire in North Dakota, but he's one of the oldest in the country. He's seasoned. He knows how to do it. Why would he stop? We need people like that with lots of experience.
You could use Lee's help in major leagues, too. See some of those calls that are missed every night. Now, it's been quite the week if you're a Spokane Indians baseball fan. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minnesone. Last night, the Indians couldn't stop scoring. The team had 11 runs on their way to a victory. Tonight was a completely different story. Runs were hard to come by in this one against the Everett Aqua Sox. The Indians had to win with pitching and defense. In the 8th, Indians up 3-1. Nick Kent stops a base hit right there. He's not related to Clark Kent, but he was a superhero on defense tonight with the stop for the out. Now, Kent had a couple of nice plays. Here's Angel Chavili on to close it out in the 9th for Spokane. And again, it's Nick Kent saving the day on defense with a diving play to get the out. Impressive stuff by Mr. Kent. Now, the Indians, they just need one more out to win this thing. It's Chavili fires it past James Parker for the strikeout. Indians hang on 3-1. Don't look now, but the Indians have won 3 games in a row. These games will play again, or these teams will play again tomorrow, 6:35 at Avista Stadium. The Seattle Mariners on the road looking to sweep the San Francisco Giants. 3rd inning, runners at the corners for San Francisco. Lamont Wade Jr. hits one deep into center field. That's good enough for a sac fly for the Giants, and the Mariners trail early 1-0. Now to the 5th inning we go. Mariners can tie the game with a base hit. They have a runner on second, J.P. Crawford at the plate. He smokes one to second base, but Casey Schmidt robs him of a base hit and a run. A great defensive play there by the Giants. This next one was not so great by the Mariners. This one pretty much decided the game. Julio Rodriguez makes 1,000 of these catches in his sleep, but drops the ball in center field. A run scores for the Giants. It should have been an out. Instead, it's 2-0 San Francisco. And then on the flip side, the Mariners offense couldn't really get much going in this game. Strikeout. That's all she wrote. Seattle falls 2-0. The Mariners were held scoreless for the 4th time this season. Seattle has one more series before the All-Star break. They'll travel to take on the Houston Astros, the defending champs, starting tomorrow. The best up-and-coming basketball players will take over Las Vegas for the NBA Summer League starting Friday. Now, there are a few teams that have already started playing to get ready for those Summer League games. One of those teams is the Oklahoma City Thunder, which features former Gonzaga star Chet Holmgren. Holmgren in the Thunder taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. Holmgren showing off the defense with the reach to get the block on the three-pointer and then contests the layup and grabs the rebound. He can do it all on defense. How about on offense? Well, he's got that covered too. Check this out. Holmgren with the fadeaway. He's the size of a tree but moves quick like a guard. He's almost unguardable. Second half, Holmgren will grab the rebound off the miss, and he muscles it in for the slam here and slams it home for the dunk. Holmgren scored 10 points and had 11 rebounds. His Thunder, they come up short in this game, 94-86, but he's been impressive in the early going here in Summer League. And the other Gonzaga players, such as Julian Strother, Drew Timme, they'll all be in action starting Friday in Vegas. That'll wrap us up for sports. We'll be right back.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
If your checking account isn't earning you money, it's time to switch to bonus checking from Numerica. The account that earns an incredible 2% annual percentage yield. That could earn you up to $500 every year or more.
Spokane and North Idaho's country leader.
It goes like one margarita.
Bluebird in my heart.
Baby, you're playing hard to forget.
The big 99.9 Coyote Country.
Where should I walk? Right here? Is this good?
Yeah, you can walk right there. This is your show. Do whatever you want.
You walk in.
It's live with Kelly and Mark.
Wow, that was a nice reception.
New research suggests that French fries may be linked to depression.
No.
I experience euphoria upon eating French fries.
Euphoria.
Elation.
All the E's.
Every weekday morning.
That's right. That's right.
It all goes down on daytime's #1 talk show.
Yeah, of course that. All that.
We're sitting on a couch with the new co-host, husband and wife team.
Watch live with Kelly and Mark. Weekdays at 9 a.m. Only on 4 News Now. Summer storms. Sudden, intense, dangerous. 4 News Now First Alert Weather warns you in advance.
Up to quarter-size hail.
Keeping you informed until the threat is past and your family is safe. On the air, on the app, only on 4 News Now. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
There are 2 Swifties here who shall remain anonymous, who called in sick to work.
Huh. Maybe you called in sick to work before, not because you were sick, because you wanted to go to a show, do something fun. You just didn't feel like it. One woman in Cincinnati did just that. Didn't want her boss to know she was skipping work to go to this Taylor Swift show. She found fame while waiting in line to buy concert merchandise.
I almost named my daughter's middle name Taylor, so.
It was her dedication to her disguise. The Cincy t-shirt folks immediately labeled her legend. Then they claimed they found the legend, though some commenters seemed slightly suspicious, noticing she has man hands and theorizing it's a dude. The blanket seemed inspired by sheets worn by ghosts in Taylor's Anti-Hero music video. Her fans have been known to track down the exact same sheets at Target. At Taylor's Cincinnati concerts, there were sightings. Likely copycats.
Oldest disguise in the book.
Didn't you say it was like a Halloween costume?
Yeah, like how they just cut the eyes out. Why did you cut the eyes out?
I did see that earlier this week on social.
So many questions.